Alright, what's up everyone, so we're live, welcome back to another video live. I'm here today to answer your question, and we'll talk about something specific. Of course today with Alejandro. What's up Alejandro, how are you doing today?
Hi team, pretty good, pretty good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. So as you guys know, I'm in Canada now for some time. I'm kind of trying to be productive a little bit with what happens, of course. And yeah, so we want to talk about something different today that we didn't recover much before. It's one thing to want to be able to trade and stuff, and that's fine, but we want to talk about how to rest and then how to reset your mindset. Because you'll see that if you always trade, you're always on the grind, always going, it's good for some time, but over time, you gotta find a way to reset your mindset, get back on track to really good performance. And we'll tell you how to do that, how we do it, how our students do it. And if you want to share in the comment section or in the chat below, or on the side somewhere, whatever, just share kind of how you do, what you do to reset your mindset, what you do to get back on track and to perform better if you're kind of like in a rut or something. So, and I know you want to kind of, I don't know you want to kind of start with this, but feel free to share whatever thoughts you have right now.
Sorry, can you repeat that part? It got cut on my side.
Yeah, so feel free to share whatever thoughts you have right now about the topic.
Oh, well, I think it's actually pretty important because, at least for myself, in the past, I have gotten into, like, you get like in the pure hustle mode. So you just go and go. And then you kind of like lose sight of the main thing that you were actually doing, like why you were doing the things, like what really matters, and you just get into the grind. And sometimes that can be pretty bad because, like, if you're having, let's say, some tough months in which the markets are pretty hard, and then you are still just doing the things, you just feel worse because you're like, yeah, I'm working at that, but I'm not getting any results. And then you already lost the vision of why you are doing the things. So it can be pretty daunting to continue working, or it can be pretty, like, it can become even like toxic sometimes. So I think that resetting, like just like taking a break and not thinking of it and then restarting again can help you to refresh completely, and then you come back, you see what you really wanted, why you are doing these things, and then you can come back with a vision of, okay, now this is what I was doing, this is what I need to do, this is what I'm going to do now in order to get there. So that is, I think it's pretty powerful, and it can be really useful. I have also heard stories like from Etienne Crete, which it's a futures trader, which had a heart attack, and after that he changed completely his trading style because of the stress and that trading can bring. Like this type of business, it can be pretty rewarding, but it can also be pretty stressful, and it all depends on the way we take it. And sometimes when we are just in that like focus point, we can make it into something that it's not the best for us. Like any business, if you work too hard or work too much, it's also not great for you, right?
Yeah, totally right, totally right. And one thing that I'm kind of thinking about now is, first things first, when you're in a point where you are not sure kind of how to perform, or like you're kind of in a rut, I think the best way to get back on track is with your reasons. If you have the right reasons, you'll have the right motivation to come back on track. And people that don't have reasons, like they trade because they want to make money, well, money is irrelevant. Or they trade because they want to be able to, I don't know, they want to be able to work from home. Well, that's a reason, but that's not a very powerful reason. So reasons come first, and the result will come second. So you gotta work on the reason first to have motivation, to have kind of the power to do the work. And then from there, it's about recovery. Like, it's good to have reasons. It's like the two R, reasons, recovery. So recovery means that, like, you're gonna work hard sometimes. You're gonna push yourself. Then you have to have time to kind of relax, go slowly, sleep, and recover, so that you can perform better next time. So I think that's key. And I want to kind of just say hi to people here. I see we have Austin. What's up, Austin? Adrian and Rashad. Rashad says, I listened to Etienne's Trader Motivation series. And to be honest, guys, I'm not doing the series at all. So we need to kind of make this clear. So Anil is the one doing the series at this moment. He's the one kind of creating the videos, coming up with the content. So if you like these videos, then just tell him that he's doing a good job, because he's doing a good job for sure. And he's responsible for the series at this moment. So yeah, just a quick plug here.
Yeah, thanks for that. Well, I mean, I'm not doing it in the terms that I'm not editing the videos. We have our editor that does that, but I am doing the like getting the different parts and trying to get everything into something that will provide all of you guys with some inspiration, and also sometimes it's just something that myself and Etienne sometimes we need, right? Sometimes when we are in some trading things, like okay, maybe like that, and then I get inspired creating these type of videos for you guys too.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we had someone in the academy, Sam, I think that you said took a break for 1 week, a break from training, and then come back after the week after, in a better kind of manner. So you want to share what it is? I know you had more detail than I have, so if you want to share the experience, that
Yes,
would be awesome.
yes. So I will give a bit of background first so that everyone understands this well. So he was first trading for some time. Then he changed a bit his trading plan. He is doing mostly price action trading, and he had a couple of bad months. He hit part of the drawdown on that, so he wasn't feeling that well in terms of the results, but he was doing the process. He was always working. He's a pretty hard worker. Etienne knows that. He always does the process, he does the work, and he comes back. So he was doing the things, and myself and also his other mentor that he works with outside of the academy, we told him that it would be good for him to take a break. And he also had already scheduled some holidays. So what he decided to do was that he will make the holidays free of trading. So he will do nothing of trading at all during the holidays. So he took a whole week out, and then when he came back, he felt refreshed, and it helped him a lot on like regaining the focus because he was working a lot on the trading, plus also he has his other job. So it can be pretty stressful when you are doing all the work and the things, and then you don't get results or you don't get something that you can feel like you are progressing. So that was pretty good for him to reset his mindset and to reset his mental process of what he was doing. And also it meant for him that when he came back, he was not just ready to go back and start slow and get back into the process like slowly. No, he was like, okay, we come back. Then exactly the same day that he came back, he sent me his weekly review, which I helped him to review his price action trading, his price action analysis. He does a weekly review for his trading, and he sent it to me. I give him feedback. So immediately the same day, I was telling him, like, yeah, you can take a bit, like, if you don't do it today, just do it later in the week to send me the review. But he sent me the review immediately. Like, after he came back, he told me, I'm back. I'm back in work. And then immediately sent me his review to check and to have some feedback on that, right? So he went back directly into the full mode, like fully refreshed, fully working, as if he had been trading and doing the things like before, right? But he was not doing any of that during his break. So what that helped him do was have also a clear vision of what he was, what he needed to do and what he was doing, and like to see in perspective that, okay, what the changes he did into his trading plan were good. It was just part of, normal drawdown, but it also helped him now in his backtest to see some other smaller things that are helping him get better performance. So, for example, he was doing before backtest, and he told me that it was always really hard for him to backtest price action because it can get pretty boring and pretty daunting to backtest price action. So he was doing that, and he was getting in the back test, or in his training, we can call it like that, some break-even results in several pairs. But after coming back from the holidays, he started doing again his back test and his training, but this time, instead of doing it kind of like in a rush way, in a bored way, he was doing it in a way in which he was engaged by the market. Even if it's a market replay, he was engaged by what's happening there. And he was looking and seeing some nuances, some smaller things that happen in the market that give him hints that, oh, maybe this trade I have planned for here may not work as well. So I will reduce the risk, or I will not take this one. I will wait for the next, a better price, and things like that. So he was applying those concepts that he has already practiced and mastered, but that if you are not in the correct mindset, you may not be able to see them in the market. And now he told me that in his past week of backtesting, like he's getting the result of around 10% per year in the backtesting, just because he now has changed the focus on that. But that was not possible without the reset that he had during his break. Like he took a week-long break completely from trading and from everything, all the stress in life, and came back fully refreshed and fully ready to attack the markets and life there.
That's a really good example. That's really awesome. I know for me, when I take a break, I tend to kind of feel guilty about it. Like I should not take a break. I should be working hard, putting the work, being there for people that work with me, being there for my trading for the market and stuff. But then you gotta remind yourself, like, this is really important. We gotta remind yourself that we're not getting paid for time. We're getting paid for our skills and kind of like the value we have. So even though we could spend 10 hours a day in front of the chart or the market or whatever, it's not needed. Even though you might feel guilty about it, that's a kind of a false feeling. If you have a full-time job where you're supposed to work all the time, you gotta be working and you're paid for your time, then that makes sense. But if you're working in trading or something else, like a business, that doesn't make sense. So you gotta push this away and focus on kind of building your skill over spending more time in front of the chart and in the market.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's really important because that's one thing that many people forget when you are an entrepreneur, which as a trader, you are basically starting your own enterprise, your own company. Even if you're trading your own money, you are your own client for money management. But even if you're just trading your own money, it's like starting a new company, like starting a new business. And that's what many people forget. Many people think that the more you work, the more money, the more income you get. Because when people work in commission or they work by the hour, the more they work, the more they get paid by the job they are in. But in trading, as with many other businesses that you have to develop, it's not about the more you work, it's about the better you work. If you work better, you work smartly, you can spend less time doing the actual work or doing what we call in Spanish talacha, which is all the grunt work, like filling Excel sheets with something that takes a lot of time but really doesn't provide any value for you, or provides really little value. So all those type of things that provide little value, you could probably outsource them or you could do other things. But that's something that many times we forget about when we are trading, that like looking at the charts and staying in the charts. This also comes back to the last FTM that Richard Jackson was saying, like, just because you are in front of the chart doesn't mean that you have to trade. Just because you are looking at the charts and you are in the charts all the day doesn't mean that you're going to make money in trading. So it's just not about that. It's about how we transform our efforts into smart efforts that will bring us proper results into our trading. So I think that is something that many people lose sight of. And that's why also many people, also in their daily lives, they forget about the value of holidays, right? Of taking a break from job and then like not thinking about working for a while. I also had a small break recently, last week, namely. So I was with my family in my last holiday before I go away. And it also helped me a lot because I was starting to feel a bit stressed with, all the planning and all the things that you have to do when you are marrying and migrating to other country. So I was starting to get tired of that. And then I took a break. I still work in the academy. People in the academy know that I was still doing things there, and I was still doing things besides the trade and that. But it was a lot less. And I did take like 1 or 2 days in which I basically answered nothing and then just was all day in the beach with my family, and then came back in the night and just answered some emails, and then just that was a whole day. But that helped me a lot because now this month that is starting, I do mostly algo trading now. I come to my algos and I see like, okay, the trades are good, the trades are that. And I'm also looking at those small nuances that I know make the algo perform better, but that in the past 3 weeks or 2 weeks before my break, I was looking at them and I was like, no, I will not do anything, even though I know it would be better in the long run, because I don't really feel clear enough when I'm looking at the things. And in the last month, I didn't have that great of performance also there. But in this month, I like looking at those things, and those parts have also made good things in my trading, and it has also helped me also in the other parts of working, being more efficient and being more effective at what you're doing instead of just like sitting in the screen for 3 hours and then you realize that you have done nothing really. You stare there to the charts for 3 hours, but you don't even know what happened or what you did. So yeah, I think it's really useful and really important to have a break like that and to work smartly.
Yeah, definitely. Let me just say hi to Gary. What's up, Gary? Welcome to the live. So yes, so one thing it reminds me of is my two best training weeks were pretty much the week where I set my office in Bangkok. I had like a brand new office and ITU and everything, and that was like really really cool. And the week I went to Bali, and then the question you might ask is like why? Well, because you're in a different mental state. You're in a different environment. That changed your mental state. That changed how you see the chart. So all these things kind of correlate together. They're all like they're all linked. So if you think that you can just kind of like trade in a bad mental state and you're gonna make money, get out of it, and then feel fine, that doesn't happen. It happens only if you change your environment or change your mental state. So that's like that. That's what that's something I learned over time, and that now I use all the time. If I feel like crap or if I look at the chart and it's not clear, I just go outside with my laptop and look at the chart again at a different place, and I'll feel different about it.
That's actually a great thing. What I usually do when when I was day trading more. Right now, I'm not day trading due to many reasons that people that have been here in the past lives know. Yeah, I don't really day trade much now. But then when I was day trading more actively, whenever I felt like I felt tired or I was like I'm frustrated at the market, like I just lost a trade because of something stupid and I'm angry at myself or at the market, and then I just closed my laptop, or whenever I started feeling that I may not be in the best condition, I just closed my laptop and went outside to the garden and just went there and like started there in the garden, like just looking at the clouds, looking at the trees, just being around nature. And then I came back and I put music, like, how do you call it? Instrumental music, like calm instrumental music when I was coming back. So I will come back with that, like taking that peace and that sentiment that the nature gave me back to my trading. And then when I reviewed again and I was like, oh, I have this trade still pending, still not open, but that's a shit trade. I have no idea why I opened this before or why I put this order before. So I canceled it and it's like, oh, I see opportunities. And then just like from that mental shift of coming back and taking the peace from nature and having some calming music when coming back, that was like, oh, now I see like 5 different opportunities in the market and I'm able to take them because I am there in the moment and I can see them. And it's just like, it cannot be, it sometimes it's like really strange because you are not seeing anything before. And then when you come back, it's just like they just appear. It's kind of like they just have like big bold letters like, yeah, this is a nice breakout, like A+ setup breakout or something like that, right? And then those things, I most likely would have not been able to see them without taking a short break in my day trading to go out, which may sound counterintuitive, right? Because when you are day trading, most people think that they have to be in the charts all the time, so to not miss any opportunity. But many times doing that, it's actually worse for you because it's not that you're not going to miss opportunities, you are going to miss the good ones because you are going to be taking the bad opportunities, and that will deplete your capital, your mental capital and your physical, well, your monetary capital to trade the really good trades. But when you take a break, then you come back and you come back without the preconceptions of I have been here 2 hours, I have to take a trade for today, right? No, you come back fresh and you come back. Let's see what the market is going to give me now, and if there is something, I will take it. If there is nothing, then that's good. That's part of the job. But that break helps you into getting your mind into the correct state there. So I think it is like even those type of short breaks are really important in your trading, especially if you are day trading, I would say.
Yeah, totally. I get that. That's awesome. That makes a lot of sense. So I want to take the chance and the opportunity to answer you guys' questions. If you have any questions, again, you make sure you comment with them in the chat. We'll take some time for this because it's kind of important. And yeah, so if you have any questions, just come in the chat. I see we have a few people now, which is awesome. So let's see if we have any questions. I know there was a question on gold earlier, and I know, do you trade gold? I don't, so I'm not gonna answer. But do you trade gold yourself?
No, I don't really trade much gold. Gold, sorry. I used to trade it more before when I was trading less with algos, but I haven't recently traded. The only thing I remember from the last time I analyzed it for the traders meetup 2 weeks ago was that it was in a pretty overextended bull move. I can't say much now except but that's already 2 weeks old information, so it's probably not applicable anymore for that. But I could check, like, meanwhile while we wait for other people to ask questions, I could check the charts quickly and see if I have an opinion on that.
Yeah, actually, that's gonna be funny. I'm gonna do the same on my side, and then we can compare our analysis and what to think about gold. But that's something that I have on my list, but I don't really trade. So
yeah, I haven't checked it because I did a couple of backtests with the robots on that, but due to the type of movements that gold have, it is materially different to the ones from the FX pairs. It didn't perform that well, and it needed a lot of work in order to get the algo working for that. So I was like, okay, that's not worth my time when I already have other pairs that I don't need to do much work. I just need to change a few settings and everything works pretty well, right? So yeah, I left it there. But yeah, I am looking right now at the charts, and it's still in the overextended move. I don't know, Ali, which is your time frame or what you're looking at, but I can just say pretty quickly that from a long-term perspective, we are going to be probably in a sideways range. Seems like, last 2 weeks. Yeah, since the last 2 weeks we have been in that range. So I think that will be pretty much almost the same range we will be in gold. But for me, looking at the 4-hour charts, the daily chart looks still a bit bullish, but the 4-hour chart for me looks pretty rangy. Like, for me, it will be most likely scenario is that it will continue ranging around here until something big happens at macro level. Right now, it's just in a small range of about $7.6, which is not much for gold. So yeah, it's in a relatively tight range. So I would expect that there may be a break to one side soon, because markets don't like to be in tight ranges for a long time. So that's the only thing I can tell you without having to do, proper analysis and a proper workflow, which I am not prepared to do right now because I am in the mode of YouTube Live. So I haven't done my meditation and my whole process in order to be able to give you a more detailed analysis on that.
Yeah.
But I hope that that's enough for you for now.
Ali says, you think a drop is coming? Well, we cannot predict any drop, any increase. It doesn't really make sense. And even if we were to predict it, we would be about 50% accurate. So that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. And I would only say that the most likely scenario is that if this range continues to be like this, we will have a relatively strong break soon. That's the only thing I can say based on this. As I told you, if I don't do the full analysis, I wouldn't tell you okay, if I was trading this, I would trade it like this. Because Etienne knows me, whenever someone asks me for things like this, it's if I was trading this, it would be no, I would not trade this because I don't like how it looks. That's what I answer to people in the meetups and that. It's no, I will never trade this thing because it doesn't look good for me. So I can only tell you in general views what we are seeing. We cannot really give your opinion more like that, because it wouldn't be fair to you or to anyone, because it's not like that. It wouldn't be useful for anyone really. It would be more misleading instead of actually helping you if we gave you a prediction or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So Rashad was asking if you went to a trader that so if someone is a profitable trader and they meet an investor on the street, who wants them to trade their money, their capital. How do you go about doing this properly? Do you need some kind of license? He says it's in Canada. So
Yeah.
I'll
That's
kind of
more.
go with that first. So first of all, I would say there's ways to go about it without needing a license. We've seen this with different people that I know that trade without a license, and they do it in a proper manner, like a legal manner. But I will go about. It depends on how much capital they have. If they have a lot of capital, then get the license. It's better. But if they have not much capital, then don't get the license. I think that makes sense. And find a way to do it in a way that's legal. And not saying that you like shouldn't get the license, but you do it if you want. And then
Yeah.
you gotta make a
If,
contract about what are the terms, what's the capital amount, what's gonna be the share that you get, what's gonna be the share that they get, and also share what you do, what's gonna be your trading style, what you look for, what system do you have, and kind of just an estimate of what you can expect from them in terms of how often will you communicate with them. You communicate like every week, every month, or only once a year or whatever. Will you send them reports? How do you gonna keep in touch with them? And I think all of that together makes a pretty good kind of plan for trading for someone else. I know we want to
yeah.
go more in depth. Go ahead.
Yeah, I will also say that, especially if you're in Canada, it will depend in which province you are, because I
Yeah.
know that some provinces have more strict rules than others. If you are in the U.S. and you are not trading forex, then it may be easier because there are some rules in which if it's like someone that you know or close relative or some close contact to you, it may be easier to manage without regulation because the law allows it to be like that. But if it's like someone random, then the most likely scenario is that you may need a license unless it is a foreign person and in that country you don't need a license and your country has an exception that if you are managing for other people in other countries you don't need a license, but it can be a pretty big mess. So I would check with your local authority related to that. I know people that have traded with licenses or without licenses. There are also many different levels of licenses. You can have, like a license which allows you to trade other people's money and everything is in their accounts, or you can become kind of like a hedge fund, right? Which is pretty expensive licenses, but of course you can get other levels or other types of investors. What I would suggest you to do is that in any of the cases, as Etienne said, the most important thing is that the investor or the person you are telling or that's going to put money to you understands actually what you are doing and what are the risks and the returns associated to that investment. So how it will perform historically or how it is expected to perform. If, for example, your trading has pretty large drawdowns, then the investor needs to know that the risk part and risk management part. I think it's the most important thing that any investor should know, because I have had cases in which investors say, yeah, 20% drawdown, yeah, that's perfectly fine. But whenever you have a 5% drawdown in 1 month, they panic and they go out scared and they take the money out. So I think that's more important. And I do know one person that used to manage money without a license. And the only way that it was okay for him to do that was because he was doing everything right. He was being honest with their investors and everything like that, even though they knew he needed a license to do that, and he was just doing it because they were asking him. But in their country, they didn't have a rule that if it's a close contact of you, you can do that. So that's the only way in which I know someone that is doing let's say in the not proper legal way, but they will not have any problems because it was only close relatives and that. But in every case, check your regulation because it may be pretty hard to do things. I will go with the follow-up question about the brokers. It depends. Some brokers will help you to trade other people's capital, but they will follow always the law in their country. So if you are trading with a U.S. Regulated broker, they will follow the law in the U.S., which you can actually trade for other people in the U.S. as long as they are close relatives, and interactive brokers or other brokers like that can help you do that, but you have to show that you have the things. There are also other rules that you may avoid regulation. If you have no presence online or there have been nothing about you showing that you trade online. So, for example, Etienne and I, if we wanted to trade money for U.S. investors, we will have to get regulated forcefully because we have an online presence and we trade and we have an online presence in that. So that will disqualify us for that. But that's like some really, really strict rules to avoid licensing in some places. But there are some brokers, for example, if you are doing Forex and your country doesn't need a license to manage and you're managing for other people, then you may not need a license and the broker will allow you to be with them and trade with them. And just one more thing is that unless you are regulated as a hedge fund or similar thing, I would always put that if it's a client and you're managing client money, they never give you the money. They never give the money to you. The client always puts the money into an account with the broker at the client's name. So it's always in their name. It's always in their power. They are just giving you authorization to trade because that can avoid a lot of problems or legal issues. And also because most of the types of scams that they do in trading, they are scams in which you as the investor give money to the manager and the manager puts it in an account that is theirs and then they give you the money back, right? So to avoid those things and to also help you reduce your liability, just everything is always in the name of the investor. And I think that's always the best practice because in any case happens, like let's say you die or you have an accident and you can't access your accounts for some time or ever, then your investors will not have any issues or like let's say you get hospitalized and you cannot access your accounts, but your investors want to withdraw your capital. If they are in the broker's hands, in the contract, then the broker can enforce the contract and the broker will give the money to the clients. But if it's all in your money, then you may not be able to send the money back to the client when they want to withdraw, even if you're doing everything well. And then they will complain with the regulator, and then that could be other problems that you may have. So I always recommend everything is always in the name of the client. Everything it's always in the power of the client. You are only giving the, let's say, like the instructions of the operational part for the trading in that sense. And that is usually the best way to also have the lesser level of regulation necessary to manage money. Sorry for the long-winded question.
Yeah, but I really like this, they cover the kind of legal aspect because that's something I didn't really think about to cover, but that's a really important thing. So doing things legally properly, and you're more knowledgeable than me in this topic for sure. So I like that.
And just to be clear for everyone, like we are not lawyers. We are not giving legal advice. We are only giving anecdotal advice of what we have seen, what we know, and like the law is in every country different. So what I tell you could apply to my situation, but it may not apply to yours. So always check with a professional in those things. Same with taxes. We are just trying to help you guys, but it is just like a general guideline. Seek a professional help if you need something proper or specific for that.
Yeah. So if you guys like this live so far, make sure you hit the like button. I would appreciate it a lot. It helps the video rank better. So we appreciate your likes, of course. And I want to go ask you a question. So this is from, let me see. So from Regan. So Regan says, I have a question. I study full-time and trading. How can I still improve my trading while studying? Second year of studies now. So I think it's pretty simple. You got to manage your time properly. So first of all, manage your time properly. And second of all, put your effort on activities that will produce result. Reading blog posts doesn't produce result. Watching videos produce some mixed results. Reading books produce some result. Backtesting produces a good result. Learning from a mentor produces really good result. So if you only do the actions that will produce the best result, you can it's kind of the 80-20 principle where 80% of the work you do produces 20% of the results of return. If you spend your time on the wrong things, then you'll be stuck in the wrong place with the wrong results. So I think that's big. If you do only what you should do that produces result, you will save a lot of time and you won't have so much to do in the end. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I also would like to say that watching videos and reading blogs can be really useful, but only if you apply them. Just reading, just watching, or just even like in a mentor, if you go to a coaching session with your mentor and you just listen to him and he just tells you the things and then you do nothing, you do not take action later, then that is useless. You're just wasting your time, your money, and your mentor's time in that sense, right? So everything has to do with action. You have to take action. You have to practice. Uh, I will also say that how you go about it will depend on how hard you you like how hard is it for you to perform in traditional studies, like in university and that, because for someone that is really easy to perform in traditional studies, then it would be okay. You can just be lazy in quotes while you are studying. That's a good grade that will help you in case like for me it was always a plan B, like my traditional life of getting a job and that. Like just get good enough for that and then focus on trading with our time. Because as a student, you have a lot of time, a lot of free time that you can use. One thing that you can consider is what are you willing to sacrifice now in your life to be able to have freedom 3 years, 5 years down the road that will last for a lot longer. So something that many university students don't like to sacrifice is going out to parties, and it's going out and doing a lot of things with friends and that. But it may be worth to try to do some budgeting, right? So take that as some way to clear your mind and help you. But remember that you are working to get freedom later. So that could like a good mix of that would help into your situation like that. And the last thing I could say would be we can like start a new topic about that, but that would be like the mental bandwidth and your time budget. You have a limited amount of time and a limited amount of mental capacity to do things. So if you are having, let's say, a pretty hard math exam that day, it will be really unlikely that you're going to be able to have the mental capacity to later in the afternoon trade and trade properly. So you have to also see that way in order to see like you have 100% amount of like your like mental capacity or mental power to dedicate to things. How much you're going to dedicate to studying to university and that? How much you're going to dedicate to trading? Because the more you put to one, the more you're going to leave less to the other. And there are some times in which the task you are doing doesn't require that much mental capacity and that much time, so that you can have the same results or pretty similar results with a lot less energy and with a lot less mental capacity used. And then you can use the other one. But I know that at least in trading, the amount of focus you put in trading, into learning trading, and into practicing the things matters massively into your results as a trader and into your path as a trader. The more time you put as a focused time of working and studying in trading, the faster you're going to get to becoming a profitable trading. So like check your mental bandwidth, check your time, and try to budget those so that you can have the desirable results for you and or your family in the university, and also you can have incremental results in trading. I mean, at your point, you are in second year. I would assume that you are in a normal type thing that usually takes 4 years to finish. So you still have 2 more years. You don't have that much rush, so you don't really need to like dedicate fully to trading. But you also most likely have some free time that you can use for that. That other people that may have a full-time job may not have because they just have to work from 8 to 5 every single day, and then another hour or 2 of commute and that. So take advantage of that you are still in uni and you have those freedoms to be able to better manage your time.
Yeah, let's put this on a broader kind of perspective. So think about having studying at university is the same thing as having a full-time job. You study, you have work to do, and that takes time. And you got to think about what's your priority. What do you want to do in life? Do you want to be able to have a high-paying job in a company where you get paid a lot, and then you go to work every day, or do you want to be able to trade trade full-time? Maybe that's the goal. That's the other goal you can have. which one is your real goal? And I'm not sure about this, but in all my experience studying and working, I've never seen someone getting paid more because they have good grades. I've never seen someone getting paid more because they took more work to do the assignment, or because they did this and that more than the other people. When you go to the job, that's where you get paid more, and that's where you have to perform. So if your goal is to be able to trade full time, then that should be your priority now, to learn to trade full time. If your goal is to be able to work for a firm and make money with a firm, then yeah, focus on that more. And trading is going to be something like a hobby on the side for some time. That's fine too, that works. No problem with that. But think about what you want. And then it's about kind of like doing the work on that. Okay, it's as simple. And the other thing that people forget, the thing that I think leads to the best result, and the thing that helped me the most in university and anywhere else, is relationships. Like learning from, like meeting people that will help you out later. Meeting traders, meeting kind of high level investors, or meeting bank, whatever, director or something. These people will help you out, kind of, they will help you and they will shape your future. So if you don't kind of network with people, then you're kind of doing only half the work, I believe. So I've seen a big impact on that. With that, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's great. That reminds me of Merlin's interview you had while in Bali, because it really matters like that. And you are also in uni. Your uni may have contact with financial companies that could help you get closer to some of those people, or that could help, like your university could help broker a initial contact or an interview with a bank executive or a trading company if they have those type of contacts there. Also, many prop firms right now that are hiring just prop firms, they prefer to take relatively fresh university student in than someone that already has been trading for a couple of years, because their job is part of educating them and growing that trader. So you are there, you could check what type of prop firms they are around your area, and if they have something like an undergrad program or something like that, just like you will look for other type of companies, undergrad programs, because that could help you get into that type of world. And once you are in, it's a lot easier to start to continue doing things. For example, Etienne, basically, he started looking for traders in order to make contacts and in order to get the interviews. And now it's like totally different place. So working with contacts and use the power of your university, even if it's small. They may have some contacts, or one of the teachers, the professors that are there just for a few classes, they may be businessmen that they may decide maybe themselves. So that could help to get a bit of contact or somewhere inside there. And once you start getting there, it will help you and you can exponentially grow from there.
Yeah, totally agree with that. That's awesome. So anything else? I think we're pretty much there for now, but anything you want to cover, any advice or any... I think we had no question more, but anything else you want to cover?
Yeah, I would just like to answer a small question that Gary asked me, which was if I also trade trading analysis only or also fundamental. I trade only technical analysis, mostly right now using algo-based, but I also do price action trading. So my core for the discretionary part of my trading is price action patterns, and then the other part is technical analysis with algorithms, because price action trading with algos, it's really, really hard to do. Technical analysis trading is a lot easier to do in that part. I think that covers basically everything. I'm just reading the latest messages we have. Gary is recommending Ali to take the Power Trader course and actually like go through the models and practice, because it helped him a lot. To Gary, that is. So yeah, and Regan was saying that his goal is to trade full time. So yeah, that is pretty. If that's your goal, then the best way is to start practicing now. And one option you have later down the line, even if you don't get into a physical prop firm, is to make sure that you can, like, even if you're just demoing, even if just you're working in demo and never put live money, you can see how good you are in trading, and you can see if you can pass an evaluation from a prop firm like FTMO. And then once you are ready for that, you can pay the evaluation fees for FTMO, and then you can get there. and that will give you a good amount of initial capital, which you could later use to maybe get more, because you can get that experience, and that could literally be done even without you having a live account, just trading demo. But of course, psychological part of that, we know we always recommend to start with a live account to nail down the mindset for that. But that could be a path for you that you could do that part.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So thank you guys for being here once again. Leave your comments in the comment section if you have any comment after this or any question, and we'll be happy to help you out. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys pretty soon. Ciao.
Bye, guys.